Yo, what's up guys? So as we're about to jump into the new season, I thought what better way than to kickstart it with the new mid lane solo queue tier list. So as always, I'm just going to quickly go over this tier list, pointing out a couple of the mid laners that I think are abusable in this patch, and a couple of the mids that you should probably steer clear from. So for my god tier mid laners, we have Kassadin, LeBlanc, Cassiopeia, Lissandra, Aatrox, Talon, and Jace. I think that although Kassadin has seen some nerfs this patch to his sustainability, and I think 2 patches ago as well, the champion is still a monster in solo queue. You got to be a little bit careful when you're picking him, especially blind. He has a lot less armor now, so if you pick him into something like the Talon, like the Lucian, the Jace, you're going to have a very hard time playing the laning phase out. But other than that, he's still going to steamroll over mages and scale into the absolute beast that he is in the late game. 2 of the other god tier mid laners that were nerfed this patch was Cassiopeia and Aatrox. The nerfs, in my opinion, weren't big enough to bring them down a notch, in contrast to something like the Galio, who was touched down from S to B. The nerfs of the Cassio and Aatrox are very small. These champions were already very strong, and I think they'll continue to have success into Season 9. My OP champion for this patch is Lissandra mid. I think that Lissandra probably needed either a nerf to her kit or the Aftershock. Right now, she does well into almost every single mid lane champion. You have the option to go for the Aftershock into these all-in type matchups where you're going really far in. Or you can go something like the Comet, like the Electrocute if you want a more bursty setup. I think Lissandra does it all when it comes to the mid lane right now, and she's definitely going to have one of the highest win rates into 9.2. So rounding off my god tier mids, we have Talon and Jace. Both of these AD champions have been indirectly buffed due to the Oblivion Orb nerfs. Oblivion Orb, of course, giving less AP, more expensive, so is the Morellonomicon. So these AD champions are indirectly stronger, and they're going to have better spikes than their counterparts did before. When it comes to Jace, he's had a lot of quality of life changes. Last patch, he had his QE buffer input, which means that you can't really cancel out your acceleration gate. This patch is super important for Jace. His auto attacks have finally been fixed. There's no longer a massive delay. The champion isn't clunky anymore. This is just going to mean much more efficient trading and just more aggressive landing phase where you can get your autos, get out before they've had a chance to trade. In hindsight, last patch and for around about 3 months now, the auto attacks have been so clunky that you can almost never get your proper auto attack reset off with your W, and just a plethora of really bad clunky mistakes they made on Jace over the last couple of patches. Moving down now to some of my A tier mid laners, I'll touch on the Nocturne mid. I made a video on Nocturne mid last week. I think this champion is super strong, especially into these champions like the Zoe, the Syndra, even on the things like the Kassadin, the Cassiopeia. It's a super niche pick. The champion's kit is really, really strong. I definitely recommend giving it a go if you're looking to pick up a new AD mid laner. Another champion I definitely think is sleeper OP for next patch is probably going to be Neeko. She's getting a little bit of a buff to her W. Her clone's going to be lasting another second. She's getting more movement speed on it. Also, the cast time to the ultimate's coming down. So all of this together, I think the champion's kit is going to be much better and probably going to be contesting a lot of these S tier mids. We'll see. Moving down now to my B tier mid laners, you see Galio. Galio is gone. Thank fuck. I hated that champion. His kit has been pretty gutted. The mana cost for his Q has increased. This is going to make massive issues for the champion who currently doesn't run any mana. Also, his Q AP ratios are getting nerfed. Thank God this champion finally is getting addressed, and I think that his win rate is going to dramatically decrease on 9.2. 2 more champions going to be seen there is the Akali and the Irelia. Akali still is okay with the Fleet Footwork rune that's currently being run. The problem with Akali is you've got to be super skilled on it, and it's super hard to actually like 1v9 or carry a game. You can probably go in and get maybe 1 or 2 kills, but a lot of time there's not much AoE damage, it's more single target, and you really do struggle to carry games with a fed Akali in my opinion. And then obviously the Irelia. Finally, Irelia is being completely gutted. The kit seems to be getting hard nerfed, and it's about time. Wrapping it up now is my C tier mids. Although it does say not optimal there, don't really be afraid to go on one trick one of these champions if you want to. Just know that the champions in the A and the S tiers are probably just doing much better jobs, and you're going to have much more consistent results playing the S and A tiers because these champions don't really have these massive flaws in their kits. For example, something like the Corki. Corki's seen buffs, but the champion, you need 3 or 4 items to really do work, as opposed to something like Lissandra or LeBlanc, where you're already having that early game advantage, and in your mid to later stages, you're still having no problems dishing out damage and bursting players. So at the end of the day, if you want to one-trick something like an Azir, I know he has Halo Blades now, you can go ahead and main and one-trick him. Just know that you have to learn every single matchup and spam games if you're really looking to climb on 9.2. So that's it for my 9.2 mid lane solo queue tier list. I hope everybody's placements go well in Season 9, and I guess I'll see you on the next patch when I come back with a new tier list.